Hey, ladies, happy Sunday. We are here with another episode of our self-care Sundays. So you know what to do, ladies, right? Get you a yummy beverage of your choice. Make sure that you're not going to be disturbed as you do these exercises that we've got over here for our self-care Sunday today. So get you some good me time. Get your journal, you're going to need it. As always, we are digging a little deeper, right? So that's our goal every Sunday, to just dig a little deep with ourselves. All right, so now that you're all set up, let's get into what we're doing for Self-Care Sunday today. Today we're going to look a little deeper into our menstrual cycles. So thankfully, with the way the world is going, we now understand that our cycles are not just something that is working independent of the rest of our lives, right? They're impacted not just by the foods that we eat, they're impacted by our emotions, they're impacted by our jobs, the amounts of stress we are feeling there, the relationships we have. All of these things impact our cycles, right? And the hormones that we have that are shifting from week to week to week for us as women. And in the past there used to be so much stigma around looking at your period and your cycle. It's just so taboo to talk about it, but thankfully this is changing. And what we're doing here at Mambokazi is just giving you the platform to be able to look at that without any judgment, to remove any stigma associated with it, so that we can come into our fullness and really create healthier, more balanced cycles. And we know that our cycles are impacting us all the time, not just within the week that we actually have our period, but way before that. So we're just bringing that awareness and that education that if you are tuned into your cycle, you can really you can milk the gold that exists within the cycle, because it's when you understand it better, you can optimize it in a way that is going to work for you to create not just, a greater flow in the actual cycle itself, but a greater flow in your life and, more peace and happiness and all of that. All right. So today we want to check a few things. We want to check the pulse. We're checking the temperature of where we currently are. And as you do this exercise, ladies, it might be triggering depending on how you are relating to your cycle in many different ways. Maybe there's issues with your cycle somewhere, or maybe you've been experiencing certain things like, trying to get pregnant and all of this kind of stuff, and it hasn't quite happened, but you're still in the process. So I want you to be very gentle with you as you're doing this exercise. My goal is not to trigger you and just leave you there. The goal is that we open up, creating a safe space for you to look at what's going on, so that we can bring solutions to anything that might be off, or bring in some help and assistance to help you to get to where you want to go. All right? So do this with love, no self-judgment. So first things first, let's check our regularity. How regular are you at the moment, right? And this one is pretty easy to check. How regular are you at the moment? And I don't just want you to check your regularity, I also want you to check your precision. So is your period coming at exactly the same time every single month? So the healthy range is 25 days to 35 days. People usually say 28, but there's an actual range. It's not just, it should be at 28. No, it's 25 to 35. If you're within this range, then we're generally saying, oh, that's a healthy range, right? So is your period coming, say, every 29 days and it's on time, boom, every month? Or is it fluctuating? And if it's fluctuating, what are the fluctuations like? Are you sometimes 25 days and then another month you're 32 days? Or sometimes you might fluctuate out of the range, right? Maybe you're 21 days this month. The next month you're actually 28. And then another month you're like 32. And then it goes back to something else. Like, what is this fluctuation? Are you fluctuating within the healthy zone, or are you fluctuating outside of it sometimes? Take note of that. And if you are fluctuating, do you know why? Some of us will know why. Like if your period comes early, you're like, I know exactly why. I was eating this and this and this. the past few weeks, and that's affected, my whole cycle. And sometimes we don't know why, because maybe it's not so obvious, or we haven't been paying attention, and that's okay. But if you know why, I want you to take note of that, right? And the reasons could come from so many different places, right? It's not just physical. It's not just something that's happening with you. I've had experiences, and I know women who've had experiences, that maybe something is going on with a family member, right? Maybe it just sudden news came that they're ill, or you experience the loss of someone, or something really stressful is happening with you at work, and it impacts your cycle. Maybe you have an emergency going on in another area of your life, and boom, your period just comes from nowhere, literally, right? Caused by that stress, by something has triggered it, or it stops for some time because of emotional issues you're going through. All of this is all valid. So just look and see where the potential places where that could be causing these fluctuations that I'm experiencing in my cycle. Yeah. Okay, great job. You're doing great, sis. All right, let's go further. Next thing is, do you have goals? Have you set goals for your cycle? Maybe your goal this year is to just create a lot more regularity within your cycle. Maybe your goal is to reduce pain. Maybe the period pain is too much and you need to do something about that because it's getting in the way of so much every single month for you. What is your goal? Maybe your goal is nothing, out of the ordinary necessarily, because there's nothing that's really, really wrong, but you just want to sync up with your cycle because now you understand more about how our cycles work and the different areas of our lives that they impact. And you just want to have this integration happen for you in your body in a deeper way to create, greater general health and happiness for yourself. That could be your goal. And that's a great goal to have. Maybe your goal is around fertility and getting pregnant. Maybe you've decided to start a family soon and you're working towards that. Are you really optimizing your cycle for pregnancy? Maybe that's you. Maybe you're going through IVF and you have egg retrievals scheduled and you need to optimize your health so that you can really get the best eggs, right? Is that you at the moment? And have you set some goals in place that are going to support this process for you? Maybe your goal is around researching more, understanding perimenopause, or now you're transitioning out of the cycle, like maybe to menopause or something like that, but you don't quite know how it is and how it happens, and you want to understand more. Is this your goal lately? Let's be intentional about how we're living our lives, just so we can create greater joy, Maybe you need to look into freezing your eggs, right? Maybe you want to look into that because you're not quite ready to start creating the family, but you know that you want to do that at some point, and you want to know what is the cost, where can you do it, all of these things. What are your goals around it? The reason that I really want us to shine the light on this is I understand as a woman that sometimes we have these desires, but because of the shame and the stigma and all of that, we don't actually look at it and say, okay, I actually have options and there's things that I can actually do. I don't have to live in shame or in fear that, this goal that I have around my cycle might or might not happen, or this goal that depends on my cycle might or might not happen. You have so much power, and I want you to start exercising that power and to come to the table without shame, without guilt, and knowing that you can really be in charge of your cycle and what you need it to do for you. And you can look at that, and if there are challenges, then you can tackle them from a place of clear understanding and not just shame and stigma. All right? So let's create this safe space where you can do that. That's my goal. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. And if there are other goals that you have that I didn't mention, that's okay. You can just write those down. Become aware of them. And you've done a great job, sis. Oh my God. Beautiful. I'm so proud of you. If you want, you can share with us some of what's come up for you with this. No pressure though. But if you want to share with us in the community, I would love to hear from you about this. And then lastly, consultations are open, consultations for you to work with me on your cycle, on the goals that you have. Maybe it's regularity, maybe it's you want to optimize fertility, etc, etc, etc. Consultations are open, and we always start with a free consultation so we can just see, I can understand your needs, and then you can understand my coaching style, and then we can see if we're a good fit or not. If we're going to work together, then we'll work together. If I need to refer you to other people, other experts, then I do that. All right. So if you want to work further with me on a one-on-one basis, then get at me, DM me, PM me, or you can shoot an email at gorgeous@mambokazi.com. Yeah, you can also go to the website mambokazi.com, and you can actually just schedule your consultation. You can book your time right on the website. All right, that's it for our self-care Sunday today. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm giving you and sending you a really big hug. Great job today, and I will see you again soon with our next episode of Self-Care Sunday. Take care of you, sis, and have a beautiful week.